Welcome back to Pale Blue Narrative, your weekly journey through the most exciting frontiers in science and technology. Today, we're diving into 3 stories that are reshaping our understanding of life, the universe, and the future of medicine. First, we explore the bold world of de-extinction. Imagine a future where extinct species like the dire wolf or the woolly mammoth once again roam the Earth. Not as relics of the past, but as living, breathing parts of our ecosystems. Scientists are now using cutting-edge techniques, from genetic engineering to cloning, to bring back lost species. Projects like those aiming to revive the passenger pigeon or the thylacine aren't just about nostalgia, they're about restoring biodiversity and learning how we might repair the damage humans have done to the natural world. But with every breakthrough comes a host of ethical and ecological questions. How close are we to seeing these creatures return, and what might their reintroduction mean for our planet? Next, we turn our gaze skyward to Asteroid 2024 YR4, a space rock that recently made headlines as one of the most potentially hazardous objects ever tracked by NASA's planetary defense teams. Initial data sent a jolt through the scientific community, with impact risk estimates as high as 3.1% for a possible collision with Earth in 2032. But thanks to new observations, that risk has plummeted to just 0.001% and is expected to drop even further as more data comes in. We'll unpack what we know about YR4, what makes it unique, and how this near miss is helping scientists refine their protocols for planetary defense in a world of ever-improving asteroid detection. Finally, we bring it back to Earth and to the future of medicine, with a look at Metformin, a common diabetes drug that's making waves in cancer research. Landmark studies now show that people who take Metformin are less likely to develop certain age-related blood cancers, such as myeloproliferative neoplasms. The protective effect seems strongest for those who've used the drug for years, opening up new possibilities for prevention and treatment far beyond diabetes. What does this mean for the fight against cancer, and could a simple pill help rewrite the odds for millions? Stay tuned as we unravel these stories, each a testament to human curiosity, ingenuity, and our ongoing quest to understand and shape the pale blue dot we call home. Welcome to Eco Insights, where we uncover the science behind the natural world and their impact on our planet. Today, we're diving into one of the most astonishing scientific pursuits of our time: the idea of bringing extinct species back to life. Yes, you heard that right. De-extinction, the process of reviving extinct animals, is no longer confined to the realm of science fiction. From frozen mammoth cells to reconstructed genomes of the passenger pigeon, scientists are pushing the boundaries of what's possible in genetics, biotechnology, and conservation. But today, I want to focus on one particularly haunting and iconic figure of extinction: the dire wolf. You probably remember them from pop culture, massive, shadowy wolves from the Ice Age, made even more famous by Game of Thrones. But dire wolves were real. They roamed North and South America until about 10,000 years ago, before vanishing from the planet. Now, thanks to a fascinating convergence of ancient DNA analysis, synthetic biology, and cloning technology, researchers are working to bring back a genetic proxy of this lost predator. So how exactly does this work? Let's start with the science. At the heart of de-extinction is genomic sequencing. By extracting fragments of DNA from ancient bones, often found preserved in permafrost or caves, scientists can piece together partial genomes. It's like solving a puzzle with many missing pieces. But using computational biology and the genomes of closely related modern species such as the gray wolf, researchers can begin to fill in the gaps. Then comes CRISPR gene editing, a powerful tool that acts like molecular scissors. This allows scientists to precisely insert and delete DNA segments. In the case of a dire wolf-like proxy, scientists might take a gray wolf embryo and gradually alter it to express more dire wolf traits: stronger jaws, different fur patterns, a more robust skeletal structure. The result isn't a true dire wolf, but a genetically engineered animal that resembles one. This is where companies like Colossal Biosciences come in. They've captured headlines by announcing plans to de-extinct not just the dire wolf, but also the woolly mammoth and the dodo, Their approach combines cutting-edge genetics with ambitious conservation goals. And this isn't just about spectacle. There are real-world applications. In medicine, the tools developed for de-extinction, from CRISPR to advanced stem cell culturing, are already accelerating research into genetic diseases and personalized therapies. In conservation, these technologies are being used to protect endangered species, enhance genetic diversity, and potentially reintroduce ecological stability through so-called proxy species, animals that fill the role of extinct ones. Imagine rewilding efforts where a dire wolf proxy helps manage overpopulated herbivore species in controlled reserves, or a mammoth-like elephant that helps maintain tundra grasslands, slowing permafrost melt. But this bold frontier isn't without its ethical dilemmas. Should we bring back species that had their time on Earth? Do we risk disrupting ecosystems in unpredictable ways? And what responsibility do we have to ensure the well-being of these new, hybrid creatures, not quite past, not quite present? Still, the question isn't just whether we can bring species back, it's whether we should, and under what conditions. Some scientists argue that de-extinction can't replace the protection of current biodiversity. Others believe it can complement it, offering new hope in a world where extinction is accelerating due to climate change and habitat destruction. So what does the future look like? Perhaps it's a world where advanced genomics allows us to reverse damage already done, where synthetic biology is used not just to resurrect the past, but to protect what still lives. Maybe we'll walk beside woolly giants in the Arctic or hear the howl of a dire wolf echo across protected wilderness once again. For now, de-extinction is a work in progress, part science, part philosophy, and entirely revolutionary. Hope. This episode has sparked your curiosity about the incredible intersection of genetics, ecology, and imagination. In our next segment, Cosmic Conversations, where we delve into the latest discoveries and debates shaping our understanding of the universe. Today, we're diving into the story of Asteroid 2024 YR4A space rock that, for a brief moment, had the world's attention as a possible threat to Earth. Asteroid 2024 YR4 was discovered in late December 2024, and early calculations suggested something alarming: a 3.1% chance that it could collide with Earth in 2032. That may sound small, but in asteroid terms, it's the highest probability ever recorded for an object of this size. The asteroid measures between 40 and 90 meters across, big enough to cause serious regional devastation if it were to hit. But thanks to astronomers around the world and some of the most advanced telescopes ever built, we can now breathe a sigh of relief. Observations from the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope and NASA's James Webb Space Telescope allowed scientists to refine the asteroid's path. With these new data, the risk of an Earth impact in 2032 has dropped to virtually zero. So what would have happened if 2024 YR4 had struck Earth? A 90-meter asteroid would release energy equivalent to 9 megatons of TNT that's over 600 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. The resulting crater would be nearly 3 kilometers wide. If it hit the ocean, there could be tsunamis threatening coastal communities. Thankfully, impacts of this size are rare, occurring only once every 1,000 to 10,000 years. Now you might be wondering, how does NASA figure out the risk of an asteroid hitting Earth? It's a careful process. After an asteroid is discovered, its position is tracked over time, and its orbit is calculated. NASA's Sentry system runs thousands of computer simulations, projecting possible future paths. The impact probability is simply the fraction of these simulated orbits that intersect with Earth. As more observations come in, the asteroid's path becomes clearer, and the risk estimate is updated, usually going down as uncertainties shrink. There's still a small twist in the story. While Earth is safe, there's a 1.7% chance that 2024 YR4 could strike the Moon in December 2032. If that happens, it could send debris into space, potentially threatening satellites or future lunar missions. From a scientific perspective, 2024 YR4's close approach has been a goldmine. Its unusual orbit and slow migration from the asteroid belt driven by something called the Yarkovsky effect are helping scientists learn how asteroids move and evolve. The Yarkovsky effect is a subtle force that happens when sunlight heats one side of a rotating asteroid. As the surface cools, it emits heat, creating a tiny push that can slowly change the asteroid's orbit over millions of years. This process is key to understanding which asteroids might one day cross Earth's path. Astronomers will keep tracking 2024 YR4 until mid-April 2025, when it becomes too faint to observe. There's another chance to study it in 2028, during its next close approach. The story of 2024 YR4 is a reminder of why international cooperation and constant vigilance are so important in planetary defense. While the danger has passed for now, the dynamic nature of near-Earth objects means we can never let our guard down. In our last segment, Health Beats, your trusted source for the latest in medical breakthroughs and wellness news, we dive into a story that's making waves in the world of cancer prevention, a story about a familiar diabetes drug that might soon be playing a surprising new role. Imagine a medication that's been around for decades, prescribed to millions for type 2 diabetes, suddenly emerging as a potential shield against certain age-related blood cancers. That's exactly what new research is suggesting about metformin. In recent studies, scientists have uncovered that metformin may significantly reduce the risk of developing specific blood cancers, particularly in people who have certain genetic risk factors. These findings are not just promising, they could change the way we think about cancer prevention, especially for those most at risk. Let's break down what the researchers found. They analyzed health data from more than 400,000 participants in the UK Biobank, focusing on individuals with mutations in a gene called DNMT3A. This gene is a known risk factor for acute myeloid leukemia, or AML, a serious and often aggressive blood cancer. The results were striking. People who regularly took metformin were much less likely to develop changes in this gene, suggesting a real protective effect against AML. But the benefits didn't stop there. Another study published earlier this year looked at myeloproliferative neoplasms, or MPNs, a group of diseases where the bone marrow produces too many blood cells. Once again, metformin users came out ahead, showing a lower risk of developing these disorders, especially if they'd been on the drug for more than 5 years. So how does metformin do it? Scientists believe its anti-inflammatory properties may play a key role. Chronic inflammation is a hallmark of many blood cancers, and metformin seems to help tamp that down. Plus, it's already known for its ability to lower blood sugar and has been linked to reduced risks of other cancers like breast and gastrointestinal tumors. Now, it's important to note that these results, while exciting, are still new. More research is needed before metformin can be widely recommended for cancer prevention in healthy individuals. Clinical trials are already in the works to explore its benefits in people who are at high risk. But the potential here is huge. Metformin is affordable, widely available, and has a strong safety record. If ongoing studies confirm these findings, we could be looking at a future where a simple, well-tolerated pill helps protect thousands, maybe even millions, from life-threatening blood cancers. For now, experts advise not to start metformin solely for cancer prevention without talking to your healthcare provider. But if you're interested in participating in upcoming trials or want to learn more, stay tuned. This is a story that's just beginning. That's it for today's episode of Health Beats. I hope you found this update fascinating. Thanks for joining us in this week's episode of Pale Blue Dot Narrative. We've explored the fascinating frontier of de-extinction and its promise for restoring lost species, taken a close look at Asteroid 2024 YR4 and what its evolving risk means for planetary defense, and uncovered groundbreaking research on how the diabetes drug metformin could help prevent age-related blood cancers. For deeper analysis and ongoing updates on these stories and more, be sure to check out our news publication, Pale Blue Dot Narratives, available on Substack and Patreon. Your support there helps keep this exploration of science and technology thriving. Until next time, stay curious and keep looking up. Because on this pale blue dot, every discovery matters.